Hello, I'm Christoph Fromm. I'm living in Germany, in a town near Stuttgart. It's called Ludwigsburg, and one of the biggest film academies is there. And I'm proud to say that I'm teaching screenplay writing at this school. Actually, I'm leading the department of screenplay writing there. And one of our most experienced teachers is Keith Cunningham, who you know in USA very well. My hobbies are Tai Chi, which is good to get calm, and fly fishing, which is good for suspense. I started writing when I was 13 years old. I started with lyrics and short stories. And quite soon afterwards I wrote my first screenplay. When I studied in Munich in the late 70s, I decided to become a professional screenplay writer. My first novel I wrote at 2006. It's about the history of a German bank between the rise and the fall of the wall in Germany. It's a kind of economic thriller. Afterwards I wrote 2 children books together with my partner Tina Litius. They were about a 10-year-old girl, a children's star who is a singer, but then she loses her voice because of the divorce of her parents, and only her 2 soft toys, Big Mouth Gottfried Primero, a raven, and his humble friend Gustav the Moose can help her out. After these children books I wrote the novel about Stalingrad. It was a lot of investigation and questions fascinated me. How could men get through this hell of war, and how did their characters change in this hell of war? And with this novel I think I wrote about 5-6 years. Yes, this was in the investigation when I met an old man who was soldier in Stalingrad, and when he started to talk about it, I think it was about 40 years after the war. But when he started to talk about it, he had tears in his eyes and he began to cry. And when I saw this, I decided to write about it. Well, when you start, you are just looking for the first ideas, you make a lot of investigation, and therefore in the end, of course, it's a big difference between the start and the end, but I think you must have in the beginning the idea what's it about, and I think this first idea about what you really want to write, you have very soon. Usually I start at 9 o'clock in the morning and then I write about 4:30. And well, I'm not a late night writer. Sometimes music can be very important. It changes the style of your writing. It really depends which music you are hearing. I have a working room with strong walls and a strong door, so it's guaranteed the most important thing for me, it's quiet. Well, it depends, but when I write between 3 and 5 pages a day, I'm satisfied. I'm interested in historical books and also in novels about society, and I also like thrillers, so I think these are the books I'm interested most. I'm reading Infinite Jest from David Foster Wallace, and I'm really reading it, and now I am at page 928, and I really like it. I want to read the last novel from Jonathan Franzen, Purity. I think this will be my next book. Yes, now I really finished my last novel. It's about a man who wants to live in nature, but he is really unable to do it. And it's the first book I try to write in a funny way. So yeah, it's totally different from Stalingrad or Power of Money. To watch other people, to go out on the streets, in cafes, drive with the subway, to watch people, to hear what they are talking, how they are talking. I think this is very important for writing. Both. I think it depends on the quality. Cats. Summer. Cake. Motorcycle. I drove 35 years with motorcycles. Physical books. Nights out, of course. Living in the country. I think telepathy is better. I think both. I can't decide. Sending a text. Traveling by car. If it's wild camping, I prefer camping. Working alone. Losing all your money is hard. I think I would prefer to lose pictures. I think you have not this decision in life. I'm not interested in both. I try to be myself every day a little bit more. I think this is the challenge.